Hey Women's Health Team, Annika asked me to put a quick video on how to juggle. So I put this together, should take a few minutes to go through the video, and with about 60 minutes of practice, I think you'll be able to start the foundation of juggling after you go through this video. Now, before we get started, I'm going to flash a real quick picture of a growth mindset behaviors. And I want you all to embrace that growth mindset behavior and accept the challenge and try to learn how to juggle in the next week. We start juggling. My preference is to use tennis balls. So if you have some tennis balls or maybe some dog toys that are tennis balls, you can use that. If you don't, you can always use a softball or a baseball is a good size as well. And then, of course, the last resort would be like a fruit like an orange or an apple, but do know that you're going to drop it quite a few times, and so the possibility of it would get mushy. So when you're doing this at home, I want you to imagine yourself in a phone booth, okay? So if you're doing this with your children and you're watching the video and they want to learn how to juggle, you might have to explain to them what a phone booth is. But for now, imagine that you're in a phone booth and start with one ball. And for the next 10 to 15 minutes, just practice this one move. That's it. One ball from hand to hand with the ball going about a foot over your head. And practice so often, or practice as much time as needed, so that the ball is just going from one hand to the other without that much movement of the hands having to move and catch the ball. And then eventually, where you're just kind of looking forward. All right? So practice that for 10 to 15 minutes and then come back to the video. Now, before we add ball number 2, remember that when the ball is about halfway is when you're going to launch the second ball. All right? So to show you, I got a different colored ball and I'm going to demonstrate. And you're just going to practice this move for about the next 15 to 20 minutes until you're able to catch both balls. So it's going to look something like this. That's it. That's all you're going to do is practice this move for about 15 to 20 minutes. And do it from right to left and left to right. And just practice that for the next 15 to 20 minutes and then come back to the video. Before we add the third ball, it's very similar to doing it with 2 balls, but now it's just consistent. Every time a ball is halfway up is when you launch the other ball. All right, so same concept as you were doing with 2 balls, but now you're adding in the difficulty of the third ball. So let's demonstrate. I've got 2 balls in one hand, one in the other hand. The one with 2 balls is the starting hand. All right, so something similar to that. Obviously, I struggled a little bit, but we're going to demonstrate that one more time. Here we go. Start with the one with 2 balls in the hand. A little bit of focus and a lot of practice, and you'll be able to do it as well.